The Modi government has dropped a bombshell. In a move that has sent ripples through the region, India has announced a sweeping ban on a significant portion of imports from Bangladesh. This decision, which came seemingly out of the blue, has left many scrambling to understand the full implications. The ban is not just a minor trade adjustment, it is a substantial policy shift that targets goods coming through land borders, effectively halting nearly half of Bangladesh's exports to India. The immediate fallout has been palpable, with trucks stuck at the India-Bangladesh border unable to cross due to the new restrictions. The sight of a no-entry sign at the border crossing has become a stark symbol of the new reality. India has banned a significant portion of Bangladeshi imports. This move has not only disrupted the flow of goods but has also sent shockwaves through Bangladesh's economy. The bustling markets of Bangladesh, once filled with optimism, now echo with uncertainty and concern. Factory workers who rely heavily on the export market are reacting with a mix of disbelief and anxiety. The ban specifically targets goods coming through land borders, which has a direct impact on the livelihoods of thousands of people. This is a direct hit on Bangladesh's economy. The ban affects a wide range of products, including garments, processed foods, and plastic items. These sectors are crucial to Bangladesh's export economy. And the sudden halt in trade has left many businesses in a precarious position. The border checkpoints, once bustling with activity, now stand eerily quiet, with goods being inspected and turned away. The aerial view of a busy border crossing, now empty, paints a grim picture of the current situation. The ban targets goods coming through land borders. This strategic move by India is seen as a pressure tactic, aimed at forcing Bangladesh to reconsider its recent actions. The impact is far-reaching, affecting nearly half of Bangladesh's exports to India. The garment industry, which is a major contributor to Bangladesh's economy, is particularly hard hit. Rows of packaged processed foods in warehouses now sit idle, waiting for a resolution to the standoff. This impacts nearly half of Bangladesh's exports to India. The ban on garments, processed foods, and plastic items has left many businesses in limbo. The economic ramifications are significant, with thousands of jobs at stake. The political landscape in India is also charged, with rallies and protests reflecting the heightened tensions between the two nations. The sight of Indian flags waving in the wind at political rallies underscores the nationalistic fervor that is driving this policy. Garments, processed foods, and plastic items are all affected. This move is no coincidence. It comes at a time when tensions between India and Bangladesh are escalating. The presence of soldiers patrolling the India-Bangladesh border and the tense discussions between officials highlight the gravity of the situation. The economic graphs showing declining trade and the worried expressions of business owners in Bangladesh tell a story of a nation grappling with an unexpected crisis. This move is no coincidence. It comes as tensions between the two nations escalate. The question on everyone's mind is whether this is the beginning of a trade war. The sight of Indian military vehicles near the border and the prominent display of Indian flags send a strong message. India is not backing down, and the stakes are incredibly high. The ban is a clear pressure tactic, designed to force Bangladesh to rethink its recent actions. It comes as tensions between the two nations escalate. Is this a trade war in the making? The economic graphs showing declining trade and the worried business owners in Bangladesh suggest that the situation is dire. The impact on Dhaka's economy is undeniable, with closed factory gates and empty production lines becoming a common sight. The anxiety among factory workers and the crowded markets filled with people discussing the ban reflect the widespread concern. Is this a trade war in the making? One thing is clear: India is sending a strong message. The ban is a pressure tactic aimed at forcing Bangladesh to rethink its recent actions. The impact on Dhaka's economy is undeniable, with closed factory gates and empty production lines becoming a common sight. The anxiety among factory workers and the crowded markets filled with people discussing the ban reflect the widespread concern. One thing is clear: India is sending a strong message. The ban is a pressure tactic. It aims to force Bangladesh to rethink its recent actions. The economic impact is significant, with thousands of jobs at stake. The sight of Bangladeshi officials in tense meetings and the Bangladeshi flag at half-mast underscores the gravity of the situation. The anxiety among factory workers and the crowded markets filled with people discussing the ban reflect the widespread concern. The ban is a pressure tactic. It aims to force Bangladesh to rethink its recent actions. Bangladesh is feeling the heat. The impact on Dhaka's economy is undeniable, with closed factory gates and empty production lines becoming a common sight. The anxiety among factory workers and the crowded markets filled with people discussing the ban reflect the widespread concern. The Modi government's move has sent shockwaves through Bangladesh. It aims to force Bangladesh to rethink its recent actions. Bangladesh is feeling the heat. The ban is a major blow to its industries. Thousands of jobs are at stake, and the impact on Dhaka's economy is undeniable. The sight of closed factory gates and empty production lines is becoming all too common. The anxiety among factory workers and the crowded markets filled with people discussing the ban reflect the widespread concern. Bangladesh is feeling the heat. The ban is a major blow to its industries. Thousands of jobs are at stake. The impact on Dhaka's economy is undeniable. The sight of closed factory gates and empty production lines is becoming all too common. The anxiety among factory workers and the crowded markets filled with people discussing the ban reflect the widespread concern. The Modi government's move has sent shockwaves through Bangladesh. The ban is a major blow to its industries. Thousands of jobs are at stake. The impact on Dhaka's economy is undeniable. The sight of closed factory gates and empty production lines is becoming all too common. The anxiety among factory workers and the crowded markets filled with people discussing the ban reflect the widespread concern. The Modi government's move has sent shockwaves through Bangladesh. Thousands of jobs are at stake. The impact on Dhaka's economy is undeniable. The sight of closed factory gates and empty production lines is becoming all too common. The anxiety among factory workers and the crowded markets filled with people discussing the ban reflect the widespread concern. The Modi government's move has sent shockwaves through Bangladesh. The impact on Dhaka's economy is undeniable. The sight of closed factory gates and empty production lines is becoming all too common. The anxiety among factory workers and the crowded markets filled with people discussing the ban reflect the widespread concern. The Modi government's move has sent shockwaves through Bangladesh. The Modi government's move has sent shockwaves through Bangladesh. Will Bangladesh bow to the pressure, or will this escalate into a full-blown trade war? The coming days will be crucial for both nations. The sight of military vehicles at the border and protesters holding signs related to trade underscores the high stakes involved. The close-up of a clock ticking and the flags of both nations flying near each other symbolize the urgency and tension of the situation. Will Bangladesh bow to the pressure, or will this escalate into a full-blown trade war? The coming days will be crucial for both nations. The sight of military vehicles at the border and protesters holding signs related to trade underscores the high stakes involved. The close-up of a clock ticking and the flags of both nations flying near each other symbolize the urgency and tension of the situation. Or will this escalate into a full-blown trade war? One thing is certain, the stakes are high. The coming days will be crucial for both nations. The sight of military vehicles at the border and protesters holding signs related to trade underscores the high stakes involved. The close-up of a clock ticking and the flags of both nations flying near each other symbolize the urgency and tension of the situation. One thing is certain, the stakes are high. The coming days will be crucial for both nations. The sight of military vehicles at the border and protesters holding signs related to trade underscores the high stakes involved. The close-up of a clock ticking and the flags of both nations flying near each other symbolize the urgency and tension of the situation. The coming days will be crucial for both nations. The sight of military vehicles at the border and protesters holding signs related to trade underscores the high stakes involved. The close-up of a clock ticking and the flags of both nations flying near each other symbolize the urgency and tension of the situation. India is flexing its military muscle, showcasing its strength and preparedness in a grand display of power. The Indian Army is not just conducting routine drills. These are large-scale, meticulously planned war games designed to send a clear and unmistakable message. The Indian Army is conducting massive war games near the Bangladesh border, a strategic location that underscores the significance of these exercises. The scale and intensity of these maneuvers are unprecedented, involving thousands of troops and a wide array of military hardware. This is a clear message to Dhaka: don't test our resolve. The Indian military is demonstrating its capability to mobilize quickly and effectively, ensuring that any potential adversary understands the consequences of provocation. The exercises, codenamed Tisha Praha, are extensive and multifaceted. They encompass a variety of combat scenarios from conventional warfare to counterinsurgency operations, reflecting the diverse challenges that the Indian Army is prepared to face. They involve various combat and support units, each playing a crucial role in the overall strategy. Infantry, artillery, armored units, and air support are all integrated into these exercises, showcasing the Indian Army's ability to conduct coordinated and complex operations. The objective is twofold: test operational readiness and showcase new military hardware. This includes the latest advancements in technology and weaponry, which are being put through their paces in real-world conditions to ensure they meet the rigorous standards required for modern warfare. Tisha Praha is a display of India's military might, a powerful reminder of the nation's capability to defend its interests and maintain regional stability. The exercises are designed to project strength and deter any potential threats. It is a reminder of India's dominance in the region, a clear signal to neighboring countries that India is vigilant and ready to respond to any challenges. The strategic timing and location of these exercises are no coincidence. The timing is no coincidence. These exercises come amidst heightened tensions with Bangladesh, a situation that has been closely monitored by both nations. The Indian Army's readiness to conduct such large-scale maneuvers at this juncture is a calculated move. These exercises come amidst heightened tensions with Bangladesh, a reminder that India is prepared for any eventuality. The proximity to the border is a deliberate choice, emphasizing the message that India is watching closely and will not tolerate any aggressive actions. The message is clear: India is prepared for any eventuality. The Indian Army's high state of alert and readiness is a testament to its commitment to national security and regional stability. The exercises are a show of force, a demonstration of the Indian Army's ability to conduct large-scale operations with precision and efficiency. The coordination and skill displayed by the troops are a reflection of the rigorous training and discipline that underpin the Indian military. They are designed to deter any aggression from Bangladesh, sending a strong signal that any hostile actions will be met with a swift and decisive response. The Indian Army's presence near the border is a clear deterrent to any potential threats. India is sending a clear message: we are watching you. The vigilance and preparedness of the Indian Army are on full display, ensuring that any adversary understands the consequences of crossing the line. Tisha Praha is a reminder of India's military capabilities, a showcase of the nation's strength and resolve. The exercises highlight the Indian Army's ability to adapt to various combat scenarios and maintain a high level of readiness. It is a warning to Bangladesh: do not underestimate India's resolve. The Indian Army's readiness and capability are a clear signal that India is prepared to defend its interests and maintain peace and stability in the region. Alarm bells are ringing in New Delhi. The Indian government is on high alert and the military is closely monitoring the situation. The recent developments have sent shockwaves through the corridors of power in the Indian capital. Chinese officials have made a secret trip to Bangladesh. This visit was not announced publicly, and the details remain shrouded in mystery. The delegation's arrival has raised eyebrows and sparked intense speculation about China's intentions in the region. Their destination, a strategically important airbase in Lalmonirhat. This airbase, located in the northern part of Bangladesh, has become a focal point of geopolitical intrigue. The presence of Chinese officials at such a sensitive location is a cause for concern. This clandestine visit raises serious concerns for India. The Indian military and political leadership are scrambling to assess the implications of China's actions. There are fears that this could be part of a larger strategy to encircle India and gain a foothold in South Asia. Is China gaining a military foothold in Bangladesh? The presence of Chinese military personnel and equipment in Bangladesh would significantly alter the balance of power in the region. It would give China a strategic advantage and pose a direct threat to India's security. The airbase's location is crucial. Situated near the border with India, it provides a vantage point for monitoring Indian military movements. Control over this airbase would allow China to project power deep into the Indian subcontinent. It's close to the Siliguri Corridor, India's sensitive chicken's neck. This narrow strip of land is a critical choke point that connects India's northeastern states with the rest of the country. Any threat to this corridor could sever India's access to its northeastern region. This narrow strip of land connects India's northeast to the rest of the country. The Siliguri Corridor is not just a geographic feature, it is a lifeline for the people and the economy of northeastern India. Ensuring its security is paramount for India. China's presence so close to the Siliguri Corridor is a direct threat to India's security. The Indian military is acutely aware of the strategic vulnerabilities posed by this development. There are growing calls for a robust response to counter China's moves. This visit confirms India's worst fears. The possibility of a Chinese military presence in Bangladesh has long been a nightmare scenario for Indian strategists. Now it seems that this fear is becoming a reality and the stakes could not be higher. Bangladesh is getting cozy with China. The growing diplomatic and military ties between Dhaka and Beijing are a cause for concern in New Delhi. India must carefully navigate this complex geopolitical landscape to protect its interests. Is Dhaka becoming a pawn in China's game to encircle India? India must act decisively. The geopolitical chessboard is constantly shifting, and India cannot afford to be complacent. It must strengthen its alliances and enhance its strategic capabilities to counter China's moves. It cannot allow China to establish a presence in its backyard. The Indian military is ramping up its presence along the border and enhancing its readiness to respond to any potential threats. The message is clear. India will not tolerate any encroachment on its strategic interests. The stakes are too high. The security and stability of the entire region are at risk. India must work with its allies and partners to ensure that the balance of power in South Asia is not tilted in China's favor. The security of the entire region is at risk. The implications of China's actions extend beyond India and Bangladesh. Other countries in the region are also watching closely, and the potential for a broader conflict cannot be ignored. This is a wake-up call for India. The time for complacency is over. India must take proactive measures to safeguard its interests and ensure that it remains a dominant player in the region. The dragon is at the doorstep. The challenge posed by China is real and immediate. India must rise to the occasion and demonstrate its resolve to protect its sovereignty and security. Section 4. Echoes of 71 historical context and current tensions. The year is 1971. India and Pakistan are locked in a bitter war. India supports the Bengali people's fight for independence. The war ends with the birth of Bangladesh. India plays a pivotal role in liberating Bangladesh. Fast forward to today. The ghosts of 1971 continue to haunt the region. Bangladesh seems to have forgotten India's sacrifices. Dhaka is cozying up to Pakistan, India's arch-rival. This is a betrayal of the trust built in 1971. Bangladesh is turning its back on its liberator. The historical context cannot be ignored. It explains the current tensions between India and Bangladesh. Bangladesh's actions are a slap in the face for India. Dhaka is playing a dangerous game. It is walking into the arms of India's enemies. Section 5, Dhaka's balancing act, navigating the India-China-Pakistan triangle. Bangladesh is playing a dangerous game. It is trying to balance its relations with India, China, and Pakistan. This is a tightrope walk. Dhaka is caught in a geopolitical tug-of-war. On one hand, it relies heavily on India for trade and security. On the other hand, it is enticed by China's economic might and Pakistan's Islamic Brotherhood. Bangladesh's foreign policy is shifting. It is moving away from India's orbit. Dhaka is embracing a more assertive foreign policy. This worries India. Bangladesh's tilt towards China and Pakistan is a cause for concern. Is Dhaka playing with fire? Bangladesh's actions have consequences. Its balancing act could backfire. It risks alienating India, its closest neighbor. The region is on edge. Bangladesh's foreign policy gamble could have serious repercussions.